my goodness. Wow, you gotta be kidding me.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 dumbest mistakes in baseball.
What a travesty. What an absolute travesty.
For this list, we'll be looking at blunders, gaffes, and fails during MLB games that were not only downright embarrassing, but had fans and people watching absolutely dumbfounded. Which mistake in baseball had you scratching your head? Be sure to let us know in the comments. Number 10. Knobloch argues with ump as run scores. For those of you who have played sports before, you're always taught to continue playing until the ref, or umpire in this case, blows the play dead.
Fryman squares to bunt and gets it down nicely. Martinez with the flip to first. Safe.
Well, Chuck Knobloch teaches everyone what not to do. Braves infielder Travis Fryman laid down a bunt in the 12th inning of the 1998 ALCS and got in the way of the throw to first base.
But it was a very poor play to let that ball roll down there while you wait for an umpire to make a decision.
The ball ricocheted off his body, and Knobloch chose to contest the play instead of chasing after the ball, which allowed Enrique Wilson to score and give the Braves the lead.
He comes speeding around third, and then he stumbles. Newman is sending him home. Look at him. He's flopping toward the plate.
It makes a good slide.
Number 9. The double cutoff, Manny Ramirez style. Instead of allowing center fielder Johnny Damon's throw to get to the cutoff man, Manny Ramirez decided to cut off the cutoff.
To center field, hit well. Johnny Damon heading back to the wall, can't get it.
A not-so-effective tactic that allowed David Newhan of the Baltimore Orioles to run around the bases and score an inside-the-park home run.
The way around, the throw to the plate is not in time.
Have you ever had someone tell you you're trying to do a bit too much? Well, Manny Ramirez's diving catch to try speeding up the relay throw is a textbook example.
Here comes the first throw that Manny cuts off. And then Manny throws the bell horn. That's one of the strangest relays I think you'll ever see.
Number 8. The strikeout that never happened. A.J. Pierzynski. Angels starting pitcher Kelvin Escobar gets White Sox catcher A.J. Pierzynski to swing and miss on a gorgeous changeup low in the zone, which should have ended the inning, or so everyone thought.
Escobar, another strikeout. Pierzynski is going down to first.
The sighs and moans from the fans after Pierzynski missed the ball was enough evidence to know that this call should have been fairly straightforward. But the home plate umpire did not share the same sentiment.
I think Pierzynski ran to first base thinking that he would get the call with the ball in the dirt, and it wasn't in the dirt.
The then manager of the Los Angeles Angels, Mike Scioscia, was livid with the umpire after they ruled White Sox catcher A.J. Pierzynski safe at second base after a determined drop third strike. The White Sox would go on to win this game 2-1 and the entire series 4 days later.
The White Sox have won, and this only begins what will be an argument. Total frustration and disgust on the part of the Angels on that call, which allowed the 9th inning to continue.
Number 7. Sneaky Todd Helton. Colorado Rockies third baseman Jonathan Herrera made a wonderful diving play to scoop Jerry Hairston Jr.'s ground ball.
Down at the end of July. So we spent 3 weeks.
The only problem is Herrera failed to make an accurate throw to first base for the out. But with Todd Helton at first, there's no need to fret. Instead of reaching out or trying to make a desperate stretch and catch, Todd Helton positioned himself in a way that would make it seem like he's catching a normal throw to first base.
Oh, wait a minute. He wasn't even close to being on the bag. He can't put foot off the bag, and he still gets the out call.
His quick thinking worked marvelously and completely fooled the first base umpire, who ended up calling Hairston Jr. out.
I don't think this was even close. Look at Helton's 2 feet off of first base.
Savvy veterans get away with a lot in pro sports, and Todd Helton might be one of the best at fooling people, but don't bring this up to Matt Carpenter. Number 6. Babe Ruth failed steal attempt. While there isn't much live footage of this event, it has been well documented as it involved one of the most historic baseball players of all time, the great Bambino. During Game 7 of the 1926 World Series, the St. Louis Cardinals led the Yankees 3-2 in the bottom of the 9th, and Babe Ruth had just been walked by Cardinals pitcher Pete Alexander. New York's cleanup hitter Bob Musial stepped up to the plate with a chance to tie the game. However, Musial never had a chance to take the bat off his shoulder, as Babe Ruth was thrown out attempting to steal second base. This brought an end to what should have been a very climactic end to the 1926 World Series. Talk about a mistake. Number 5. Ruben Rivera's brutal base running. So many know Ruben Rivera as legendary closer Mariano Rivera's cousin, but unfortunately, that's not what he's best known for.
1-0. Grissom to right center field. A long run
Back in 2003, after hitting a ball during a game against the Arizona Diamondbacks, Rivera ran and went past second base, only to go back. He's able to make it at third, after a moment of hesitation, he just decides to go for it and he's ruled out. It was a bizarre display to say the least, as both Rivera's body language and running indicated uncertainty all the way through. Commentator Jim Miller summed it up best.
He's out by 5 feet at the plate. And that was the worst base running in the history of the game.
Number 4, Jose Canseco uses his head. We're not sure if we should laugh or shake our heads at this one. Back when the Cleveland Indians took on the Texas Rangers back in 1993, Carlos Martinez hit a ball deep right field.
High fly ball, right field deep. Canseco back to the track, looking out.
Would outfielder Jose Canseco catch it? Would the ball fly over him and reach the stands? It hit Canseco's head for a home run.
Checking the wall and the ball, reaches up. Hits him right in the head, he goes over the top.
It hit Canseco in the head and bounced over the wall for a homer.
It was the last outcome anyone would expect, and even Canseco himself couldn't help but smile. Sure, everyone remembers Canseco for his hitting homers, but for some, this might be his most memorable one yet.
Jose, you've hit a lot of home runs, you did a lot of great things, but that shot will live forever.
Number 3, the Will Craig Javi Baez incident. They don't call Javi Baez El Mago, aka the Magician, for nothing.
El Mago indeed.
That is unbelievable.
That is incredible.
Just when it looks like former Pittsburgh Pirates first baseman Will Craig is about to tag out Baez after a pitch, he doesn't. Craig just chases him down, and even when mere inches away, still doesn't decide to tag Baez. Instead, he throws the ball to the catcher, and then brief chaos ensues.
Oh my goodness. Wow!
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! You've gotta be
They
kidding me!
stole a run. You have got to be kidding me. Javi Baez.
A run is scored and Javi reaches second base. The whole sequence merits multiple replays in order to process. What we know for certain, though, is that Craig had absolutely no idea what he was doing.
Just kind of lost my mind for a second, just released the ball to home. I'd taken a couple steps, and then after that, just kind of all went downhill from there.
Number 2, Bill Buckner. If you know, you know. This gaffe is so infamous, we only put his name in the title.
Calvin Giraldi couldn't do it, and it's up to Bob Stanley, and it's up to Mookie Wilson, and the crowd is alive again.
Tied at 5 apiece during the 10th inning in Game 6 of the 1986 World Series, New York Mets batter Mookie Wilson grounded a ball to first. Instead of grabbing it, Boston Red Sox first baseman Bill Buckner let it bounce off his glove and rolled right through his legs.
Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Ray Knight ran to score, and the Mets pulled off the victory, forcing Game 7. They went on to win the World Series. The curse of the Bambino continued for the Red Sox, and Buckner's life was never the same.
And for a time, the nightmare would not end for Buckner. Heckled, harassed, even death threats. Red Sox fans unfairly blaming him for losing that World Series.
One might label this as a mere mishap, but considering the stakes that were involved in its impact, especially on Buckner, we see it as so much more. Before we unveil our top pick, a few honorable mentions. Hank Gowdy gets caught up. The Giants catcher got his foot caught in his throne mask and misses a fly ball. A third baseman's best friend. Sean Casey thought it was out, but on a side note, great play by Pablo Ozuna.
It's the first time I've ever seen it. Yeah, you see.
The great Larry Walker giveth, and the great Larry Walker taketh away. Larry Walker shagged a pop fly and gave it to a young fan. Turns out he needed that ball back.
See, and he gives it to that kid.
Yeah.
Now, here's the funny part. He goes back to get it, though. That's what's funny.
Yeah.
And what if the kid doesn't give it to him?
Don't go on holiday alone. James Loney hit an innocent fly ball into left field, and the Dodgers would go on to win 3-2.
At Holiday, a little indecision there whether to try to catch that ball fingers up or fingers down, got caught in between and was not able to make the play.
Alex Gonzalez. Steve Bartman wants a word. A bobbled routine ground ball leads to an 8-run rally by the Marlins.
And bobbled by Gonzalez, and everybody's safe.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Umpire Jim Joyce misses the call. In 2010, Detroit Tigers pitcher Armando Galarraga was 1 out from having a perfect game against the Cleveland Indians.
26 up, 26 down. Here comes number 27.
The ball was thrown. Indian shortstop Jason Donald made contact with his bat. Galarraga reached first and Donald was out, but not according to umpire Jim Joyce. He ruled Donald safe.
He's out! No! He's safe! He is safe! He is safe at first base.
The replay clearly showed that Galarraga reached the first base before Donald. Everyone else thought it was out too except Joyce. The call itself, along with the fact that Galarraga was robbed of a perfect game, resulted in enormous backlash towards Joyce. He would later express remorse for his actions, revealing that upon actually watching the replay, that he did indeed miss the call.
And there's nobody that feels worse than I do. I take pride in this job, and I kicked the shit out of that, and I took a perfect game away from that kid over there that worked his off all night.
So ashamed of what he had done, he even personally met with Galarraga to apologize. We commend him for recognizing the magnitude of his error.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.